what can we do about it as consumers? Instead of just throwing it away into the landfill, it's nicer if we just collect it all, give it to recyclers for them to recycle, or people or organizations like ours, such as ours, where we upcycle plastic waste. And obviously, even the textile waste, there's so much fast fashion and single-use plastic. So this is something which is all around us in our daily lives. So little bit what we can do is just collect it away. I mean, divert it away from, adding to our environment, entering the ocean and stuff like that. I would just like to start by saying that, what we have done is a very, very small attempt to give back to our environment and impact women artisans in and around India. So what we had started off was the inspiration behind our work was basically to address plastic pollution, and looking at the waste generated around us was what actually motivated me to, take it up in a small way. So what we did was, during lockdown, there was a lot of donations was happening. We were helping out people in the villages in many, many ways. And so we found that there is a lot of skill that is there, and they just need a platform where we can showcase their skill, such as, braiding and crocheting, handwork, lots of things like that. So wanting to address plastic pollution and waste management, I took up a project called sanitary pads. And basically it was to replace the one-time use single sanitary napkins. So it was a very good project, and many women were making good products out of that. And keeping that in mind, we set up a plastic exchange scheme. So the idea behind that was to make people aware of the ill effects of single-use plastic on our environment. So just to make sure, that as conscious consumers, we must not, it's always nicer, to mindfully divert single-use plastic packets away from our landfills. So what can we do about it as consumers? Instead of just throwing it away into the landfill, it's nicer if we just collect it all, give it to recyclers for them to recycle, or people or organizations like ours, such as ours, where we upcycle plastic waste. And obviously, even the textile waste, there's so much fast fashion and single-use plastic. So this is something which is all around us in our daily lives. So little bit what we can do is just collect it away. I mean, divert it away from, adding to our environment, entering the ocean and stuff like that. So this led to the conceptualization of Eightfinity, where we stumbled upon the skill and the craft of women around us, like everyone around us, you see they know some kind of knitting, braiding. So what our idea was, to use plastic and textile waste and jute, whatever is there around us, and incorporate it in the skill of crocheting. So we sort of trained the artisans who already knew crocheting to make laces and make products only out of waste, just like, by way of crocheting and braiding the single-use plastic packets that are all around us, that we generate such a lot, and they really don't have much resale value because they are the very low value, thin plastic packets. So what happened was, send them all to the villages, and we had conducted workshops and trained them to make beautiful embellishments, laces, and little flowers out of just using plastic waste fabric and jute. Since we are based out of Bengal, jute is very prominent here. So we even added a bit of jute to our embellishments, and soon they started to, we had a huge team of around 80 plus women who are actually so talented, the artisans, and they are all homemakers. So in their free time, they would make all these laces and products for us. And now the next step for us was, how do we use, their beautiful embellishments and creations that they have made. So to give it some kind of form and to make it as a sustainable social enterprise, we designed a whole lot of products, fashion and lifestyle products, that would appeal to the youth, the conscious buyers and consumers who actually, like using products which have a vision. So that's how Eightfinity came into being, and a lot of products were made, keeping all the practicality and fashion trends in mind. And slowly we grew that way, and that is how our enterprise is growing slowly. And we have also employed trained women from the West Bengal Foundation for the Deaf. They are very, very talented and skilled. And as you can see in the picture here, this is what they all make for us. And we put them all together and we make a lot of products, fashion and lifestyle products. And I think we started all during lockdown, just without any actual, plan. We didn't really plan to set up Eightfinity. It all happened because of Green Pari, our sanitary, reusable cloth sanitary napkin project really took off well. And we incorporated it with a donation drive of exchange for plastic in place of a sanitary pad. Like we did not just give the sanitary pads away to the underprivileged. In fact, we would conduct awareness sessions about single-use plastic packets and their ill effects. And in exchange for, say, a kilo of plastic, we would give them a sanitary pad each. So this way, it also motivated them to not throw away the plastic mindlessly, just throw it away into an environment, but to collect it. And in return, they would get, a sanitary pad. And now in return, now they are making a lot of products for us. So it's a win-win for all. We have a couple of villages do not generate much plastic. Whatever small plastic they use as consumers, they collect it all and they hand crochet it and they give it to us, and we in turn put it together and make beautiful fashion and lifestyle products such as crossbody bags, tote bags, mobile sling bags, laptop sleeves. Whole lot of products we making using the beautiful embellishments made by our artisans. So yeah, that's how. And I have been associated with Garbage Free India as the Kolkata mentor, and my journey of getting into waste management started off because of getting associated with Garbage Free India. So that's how I learned and got more and more interested about this subject, and tried to do my bit in a small way. And so now I think we have diverted over, say, about 300 kgs of waste, of plastic waste, over 300-400 kilos of textile waste. Textile waste are all given to us by small boutique owners and people like, them. And we have over 100 plus women working for us. And yeah, that's our story. And so I would say that, as conscious consumers, it's always nicer to, be little mindful about waste management. It's all we can see what's happened to our environment only because of us. We are totally responsible for what we have done to our ocean and, so many marine animals. So it's good to just, in a small way, we totally cannot eliminate plastic from our lives because it's very prominent. What we can do is sort of, shift to alternates to plastic. Carry your own cloth bag, use avoid single-use plastic, and whatever plastic is generated from our household as consumers, give it to recyclers, give it to organizations who are actually making a lot of products out of plastic. So yeah, this is what is our story, and slowly with God's grace and everyone's support, we are getting more and more women artisans in our stride and in our team. And yeah, that's our story.
We would like to show your work at Eightfinity through a short clipping now.
Sure.
So,
Team Eightfinity sought ways to upcycle and repurpose plastic waste. We began working with women from marginalized communities who showed exceptional skills in hard work like crochet, weaving, etc. We curate functional and fashionable products for the urban conscious consumers. All of our products feature embellishments made from plastic waste, scrap fabric, and jute. They carry a message of awareness, upcycling, and promoting a sustainable lifestyle.
Eightfinity is a socially and ecologically responsible brand. We offer exquisite products celebrating artisanal craft and upcycled material. I conceptualized Eightfinity last when I happened to notice the amazing talent that we have in our country. I interacted with women from rural Bengal who were making beautiful stuff, products from handmade products, from crochet and braiding and a whole lot of other things like that. And I thought they just need some kind of a platform and guidance when it comes to color, design, style. So I just, put both together, their talent and a bit of my passion. And then was the beginning of Eightfinity, where we used a whole lot of plastic scrap and put it together with their talent. So I have learned a lot from them. And so this is how, this is the story of Eightfinity.
করে একটু হাতের কাজ করে আমরা যে দুটো পয়সাও আমরা করতে পারছি।
আমাদের কেনা লোকের কাছে, স্বামীর কাছে, ছেলের কাছে পয়সা চাইতে হচ্ছে, বড় ওদেরকেও কিছু দিতে পারছি কি।
সবাই খুশি তো? সবাই খুশি। ওইটা রেখে দিয়ে আগে দিয়ে প্লাস্টিকটা আগে গুছাই।
This is the story of Eightfinity, new beginnings from old ends.
Shmel, would you like to take the question? Start your question.
I want to ask you a question. How exactly upcycling fabric waste for art, fashion can support resolution problems of poverty and social inequality?
Thank you for your question. So upcycling of fabric waste is what you wanted to know about. It generates a lot of income, by upcycling. We have artisans who we give the waste scrap fabric, which would have entered the landfill, which would have polluted our environment and had no value, resale value. So we collect all this scrap fabric and one-time use plastic packet. And our main idea is to actually only give attention to MLP, multi-layered packets, which are the biscuit chips packets. They are the ones which are rampant in our all over. Everything comes in small packages and it's all MLP, which is very, very light and it's just one time use. And so that is what we actually use a lot. We collect post-consumer and post-production waste. Like if you are a consumer of plastic, the low-value, thin plastic packets, all our groceries, everything come in plastic packets, our biscuits, chips, so much rampantly this is around us now. Everything comes in small packs, wrapped individually. So where does all this go? I mean, all this has to be, tackled in a mindful manner. So we collect all this through our various awareness programs and collection drives. And as consumers, I encourage everyone, such as you, each one, collect all your plastic and give it to us. We have them cleaned and then the women hand process it and they make stuff out of it. They make crochet products out of it. They hand braid it or they crochet it and they give it to us. So it adds that little bit of bling also, the biscuit wrappers, which has aluminium inside. So that little bling is there. So, and then we turn it into fashion products. Yeah, I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah, thank you very much.
What inspired you to get into service?
See, I'll give you a small incident which actually, it really got me thinking. One time I was at a signal in Kolkata, that's where I live, and there was a huge pile of garbage, which we see in every city. Even in the best of areas, till the municipality truck doesn't come to lift it, it's all just thrown over there. So I saw this little child, he should be in school, but he was there rummaging through our garbage and just pulling out small things, like a toothbrush, a shampoo bottle, plastic packets. I don't know, he managed to collect a lot of it. So I asked him, what will he do with it? He said he's going to have his next meal by selling that. He would have got some 20 rupees a kilo and he spent like 2-3 hours, I think, to collect that one little packet and he earned his next meal. So that really got us thinking that, we are so entitled. We just throw away all these plastic containers, little, even toothpaste had value to it, added to the weight of his booty, So small things like this, I tell everybody, just instead of just mixing it with your wet waste, with your kitchen waste, if we just collect our dry waste, like things like our Domino's boxes, cartons, we get so much of cardboard around the packaging, because of online shopping. So just don't mix it with your kitchen waste and, then it's all ruined. It all gets wet. So if we just collect it and put your dry waste separately. Then people say, what's the use? The municipality is going to mix it anyway. I said, doesn't matter. Just make it a nice packet with all your dry waste and throw it away. Let the mini deal with it. I mean, like, it's very sad to even think that, there are people waiting there for this garbage so they can pull the stuff from that which they will use for themselves. I mean, this is a common sight in our country. It's very, very sad. But least we can do is segregate our waste and just, even give it to recyclers or even give it to anybody. Like, in my community, in my building, we generate such a lot of online packaging material. So we don't throw it. We have a separate box. We put it all in that. And our housekeeping staff takes it and they are earning a good 200-300 rupees a day. And for us, it's waste. It's just waste for us. We throw it with our chai patti and our other kitchen waste, and then it's of no use for anyone. So as consumers, least we can do is this, to start small.
So we have these red boxes, green boxes, yellow boxes. Is there a particular color for each waste?
Yes. There is green for wet waste. There's blue for dry waste. There's e-waste. It's all there. And I think we have been given bins. Some communities, cities do have bins just for dry waste and wet waste. I've seen it in Hyderabad. I think my sister Naveen, she does segregation, and there's somebody who comes and collects the dry waste from her house.
Then the question is, does it take too much of your time? Does it take full day time? How much time does a person need to contribute to society, to pick up an issue like this? And if they want to make a difference, everybody wants to live a balanced life. They have work, they have children, they have families. At the same time, if they would like to keep a few hours in their life, in their week, in their day, what kind of time do you think you spend on contributing through this venture?
See, Vani, more than time, I think it's passion, the desire to do it. Time management, I think everybody has time. We have 24 hours. We can take 5 minutes off. I think if all of us just keep one little packet or a little, a container, dustbin in our homes, and if you see the kind of dry waste and plastic waste that each one of us are generating from our home, that doesn't take more than even a second to go and collect it all in that and just leave it, give it to a recycler. If people don't have the time, even if they just throw it with their other waste, it's one nice bundle that is there, which has some value. So it's not about too much time. It's all very doable. We have so many, we have a household help. We have people around us who, if you notice, are constantly knitting and doing some things in their spare time. If we could just guide them a bit, show them, that, use this, use that, and try to give them a platform and try to market their products. So I can tell you, that the women who are working for us are all homemakers living in villages far away from the city. And in their spare time, they make these things, out of the plastic that they generate. And they are not really poor who can't afford a meal, anything. But this is just that extra money which they make. So they feel empowered and they feel very happy about themselves that just sitting in their homes with that little bit skill that they have, they're able to, buy that little. One time, my lady, she called me and she said, today I celebrated my son's birthday out of my own money. I bought him a cake. I bought him a school bag. So she was so overjoyed that she didn't have to ask. You saw in the little video clip also, she didn't have to ask those few hundred rupees. For her, and she earned it herself sitting at home and out of her craft. She's not like a trained artisan or anything. Just like any other lady sitting at home, she earned it. So she felt very empowered,
So there's a question from Mr. Prasad Surupaneni. Who collects and brings the plastic waste from consumers and industries to your organization? Is it all tied up?
Yes. See, we have in my office here, and all my friends, they collect their, their biscuit chips, wrappers and everything. So they collect it all, and I've sent them videos of how to collect it. You can't just make one big bundle and one kachara. You just have to, as soon as you empty out a bhujia or any or dal chawal, just roll it up neatly and put it in a sack and drop it off at our office. So that is one way. And then we have post-production waste. We have some friends who manufacture biscuits and all. So their production waste, post-production waste, their wrappers which have got misprinted or it's gone defective, the print, something has happened to it. So they give us those rolls. So that MLP rolls, it's called multi-layer packets. They give us those rolls. So we use post-production and post-consumer waste. So it's not such a large thing, So we keep getting from here, there. Then we have boutiques who send us their scrap fabric. We collect it all, and then once in a way, like we send it all to the villages, or they come over and they take it from us and they make the embellishments, at their leisure, at their free time, and they give it to us. And then now we sit with the production team, a design team, to actually give it some shape.